What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here, and in this video I want to go over kind of like my thoughts and kind of like an overview of all three of Fujin's variations. So the first variation we're going to start with is his Wind God variation. Now the cool thing about this is there's no longer any speculation as to what's going to be a tournament variation and what's going to be, you know, customs only, right? So we pretty much, now we know exactly what moves he's going to get and what variation. So let's get right in and take a look.
In my opinion, is pretty combo based. Also, I love this outfit. Look at that cape and that hair. He is motivated. So the first thing he gets is an amplified tornado, and this actually makes the combo. He can amplify it more than once. It'll pop up, and he can get mid-swing combos and stuff. And this is cool. This makes his hop attack hover. You hit down up, and it'll hover in the air as long as he wants to. And this makes his combo, or his hop attack, have a crushing blow. So if he goes over like their sweep or a low poke, he can do the hop attack and then get a pop-up from it. And then lastly, he can do two of his special moves in the air. He can do the tornado and the wind kicks in the air. So he could do like a jump attack into it. He could mix up the tornado in the air, like jump at you, fake you out, and then do a back tornado and kick away, or go in and then amplify it once. So this variation I think is the most simple. I think this is the one that's like big combo damage to the tornado, better combos ending in the air tornado, and then you get the crushing blow that pops up.
Okay, so basically they said this is pretty much the simplest of his variations. So this looks pretty straightforward, not too complex. So basically this variation, according to what they're saying, is going to be based more so on combos. You know, like a lot of options with, big damage with the air tornado, being able to jump, maybe jump in, attack, or jump in air move if you try to stop it. He's got this float right here that he can do. That'll also beat out lows. Now, before somebody says who's going to get hit by this, say you make a read on Frost doing like a ranged dive bomb. You go into this float. It whiffs as it turns into a low as it slides on the ground, and then you get a crushing blow for a big pop-up. And so this variation does look pretty straightforward. It looks like it's pretty much, got a lot of freestyle combos and highly damaging. And one of the complaints people had about some of the variations is there's no originality. There's no kind of combo freestyle. You're not really able to pretty much create as you go and kind of do big, for lack of better words, swaggy combos. They felt that a lot of that kind of creativity was gone. And this kind of restores a lot of that creativity that people were really looking for.
Pops up with the hop attack. So I think sword spin move, and this is an awesome pressure tool. The amplified version is safe with big pushback, and the regular version on hit keeps them standing, and he can go into this pressure. Like he can do back 1-1 into the sword. They'll be standing right next to him, and you can loop it, go for throws, go for jump overs, whatever you want, and the opponent, he's like double digits.
Okay, so what they're saying is this move right here pretty much will leave you, it'll leave you standing. See right there? At this point, before he goes into the amplify, it'll leave you standing. So you can pretty much do a combo, and this will bring them back down to the ground and leave Fujin at plus double-digit advantage. And then from there, he can go in and throw, do it again if you try to challenge it because the amplified version is safe. He can do it again if it hits. You keep the pressure on or whatever else you're going to do. And if they block it, you go ahead and you go with the amplified. Or maybe you can hunt a combo and cancel into it. And then if it hits, you confirm it, go into a combo, then bring them back down to the ground. And if it's blocked, you just finish with the amplified version, which they're going to show you here is completely safe. So pretty much if they were to, it goes into double-digit plus frames. But if they block it, you'll see it's, you confirm it, amplify it, and then you leave yourself safe with kind of some space between you. It looks like it actually might be very, very low negative frames. You see Fujin can still approach a little bit, and Baraka still looks like he's recovering a little bit. So it looks like maybe minus very low negative frames. So it looks like really, really cool.
For throws, go for jump overs, whatever you want, and the opponent, he's like double digits advantage, I think. So he's gonna have like a lot of time to do pressure. Then this is
Okay, so I want you to notice something about this airwalk move, right? This airwalk move right here, if you notice, it requires no resource. If you notice, he's walking, he's running across the screen, and he spends no defensive or offensive resource until he cancels it or does like a special. So when he cancels it, you see how he can land? When he cancels it, he'll spend 1 bar of defensive resource to cancel and hit the ground immediately.
and he has a whole host of options from it. He has his dive kick, K4. He has an anti-air sword. He can either just drop down next to you, he can drop down far away, and even the dive kick has a couple of options. Like he has a regular one, which is punishable, or he can amplify it and continue it, and that'll get you out of it if you try to punish it. So this move you can use to get in, you can use it to get out. It pretty much allows him to be all over the screen wherever he wants, whenever.
So pretty much out of his airwalk move, he's got, this dive kick. He can cancel it and just hit the ground. He's got an anti-air kind of cross-screen sword to like hit you out of the air. And he also has this dive kick. Now this dive kick is negative, but you have to guess amplify or non-amplify. And it looks like there's a crushing blow requirement on the amplify version, which I'm not sure if they say what it is here. It's probably something like, I don't know, either hit 2 in a row or kind of like Kung Lao's, or maybe just a second hit. So if you go to punish it, you get crushing blow. I'm not really sure. They may say it here. I might have missed it. But basically, so he can airwalk around, and he's got to mix up between like if he's going to meet you in the air with his anti-air move, or he has dive kick, and then he has to mix it with his dive kick for amplify and non-amplify, and you have to kind of make the guess and then to get the punish.
Whenever he wants.
Yeah, Skywalker is probably my favorite move that he has. I mean,
Yeah,
the different tools that he can link out of it is just amazing. He just has a whole tool set from just going into the Skywalker.
And what's cool is you're gonna be so focused on dealing with back 1-1s or 2, like all those win normals that we showed, that you're gonna want to jump or just sit there and block, and then that sets up him to just go crazy and be flying all over the place like a nut, which then sets up his throw game, his different pressure options and stuff. It can be
And
very
that's not all for
overwhelming.
variation 2 though either.
No, I think there is more.
Okay.
More?
He had an air parry, which I think is pretty new, at least for MK. He'll actually
I can't
parry
think
your.
of anything that's had an air parry before.
Yeah, it's probably been done in some game I can't remember, but either way, it's very fresh. And then he gets all the options from Skywalker. He also has a grounded one where he will parry ground moves. So if you try to anti-air him, so this complements Skywalker.
So basically, he also has the ability to, if you're trying to air him, instead of, you see him jump, and instead of like going into this Skywalker move, he's able to air parry you if you want to air him, or if you try to just anti-air him traditionally in general, he has a parry that he can do. So even if you make the read that he's going to jump, and you go to anti-air him, he has a ground parry to do to pretty much make it very difficult to anti-air him and keep. So this variation is really focused on being in the air almost at all times, and pretty much giving him a lot of tools to stay airborne as much as possible.
Skywalker, because it's really hard to enter.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Let's take a look at variation 3.
All right, so variation 3 is the variation I like the most. Before we get into this, I just want to say, a lot of people have always said to me in this game, Tom, because right now I'm not as, my skill set, I'm not a zoner, but I'm also not particularly offensive. I'm right in the middle. I'm more of a very, very solid pure neutral player who also has very, very good defense. My offense is somewhat limited. So a lot of times, in situations, matchups where, and Sub-Zero in this game seems to be more offensive than defensive, there are times or certain matchups, like a Variation 3 Jackie, in which I'm forced to be more aggressive than defensive, and then I really kind of struggle when there are tools that take away my ability to play neutral better than my opponent, and my ability of pure defense, and I have to win just on pure offense. people have always said, Tom, you need to pick a character that's a little more your style, that focuses on that mid or long range game. It's not a zoner, but kind of defensive, has good like defensive options, etc. So this is where this variation of Fujin comes in.
So this one is ground-based. His back 2 and his 4-2 get an amplified version, where he stabs you and gets extra damage, and it actually gains a crushing blow, and the requirement is to punish a backdash. There you go. Stabs him right in the heart. Then he also gets... Oh.
Oh yeah, we have 3.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we have
This move is very neat. He has a...
videos for variation 3. Let's take a look
What's
at
that?
And he gets this wind push. So this move is very neat. He has a close, a medium, and a far version. And they are super fast, really good recovery. It's kind of similar to Kenshi's push. The caveat is the amplified version, while it pushes you super far, it actually does no chip damage. So it's going to be really hard to get in, but he's not going to kill you with it. He's going to kill you by making you make mistakes. But
And that,
You know,
that
you're
will
not-
totally complement his away 2 and towards 2 as well.
exactly, like you're...
So basically, he's got this push kind of move, and it's not just like Kenshi, because Kenshi's occupies everywhere. This doesn't track, but you kind of have to know the vicinity, close, medium, or far. And whenever you hit 2 of the 3 of them on somebody, whether it be a close, medium, or a far, close, the third one that's different will crushing blow. So that's pretty cool also. So this is like not only a good way to kind of punish people from range for trying to approach, but it's also probably a good way to push to a trip guard from range, which is really, really cool as well. But it looks like a way that maybe you can like start a string or whatever it is, hunt for a combo. If the string hits, you go into your combo, you confirm it, and if it's blocked, you do this. So this kind of gives you the ability to hit or block confirm a string and either go into combo or just safely push them back across the screen. So again, it's very similar to like a creeping ice kind of strategy in which, you get to attack or defend your position, and if you hit, good for you. If it's blocked, you knock them back and they don't get their turn.
You're going to want to try to dash in, and that's when he's going to catch you with the back 2. And the crushing blow is for doing all 3 versions. Like if he does close, medium, and then amplified far, he'll get it. Or he can do like medium, far, close, or whatever order. It just has to be 3. He has to use all 3 in a row.
And it's
So
hard to see
that's
that win coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it is practically instant. It's very, very effective.
This is my favorite one right here.
Okay, so this is an anti-air move. So you see this air move here?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
It does nothing. This move right here does nothing. This move right here does nothing grounded, but it's obviously got good air control. Probably reaches from where about half screen, so it's a near half screen anti-air. So even if they jump from 3/4 screen to half and you make that read, you're going to be able to anti-air them. And I just think within that half screen range, it's automatic. It catches them. Period. I don't think you have to kind of know half screen or close. So it pretty much tracks them. It looks like in air, anywhere from half screen to close.
And then he has this air control move where it does nothing on the ground, but if you're in the air and he catches you, he slams you down. And he can amplify it to get the world's biggest pop-up. He throws you up, and then in 2021 you fall down, and he gets a combo. So a fun thing you can do is actually do the 4-3-1 crushing blow, because the slide won't hit because he's still up in the air. That's
So like the combo he just did, that special move he ended with, that is the armor break. So really, there'd be no way out of this combo here. Like this combo right here would be completely guaranteed. Because he does this, and then you go to break away, and then you would lose your armor, and you still take like 25%. So this is really cool.
up in the air. That's my favorite use of it.
Yeah, it's a really fun way
So-
to get your crushing blows going for sure.
And so that move
You
also
really can
complements
control everything with it.
Okay, so yeah, so this variation right here to me looks like the best variation for me. It doesn't, it's got It's got these wind moves here that, again, these control space really, really well. And you can either pull the opponent in or throw them away. And it's got a crushing blow if you catch somebody trying to back away. Like sometimes people will do like a poke and then like a stagger. Like Sub-Zero will do like a back three and then backdash, right? To try to get you to whiff. Or a Jackie player will do like one poke and then backdash to get you to whiff. You make that read and you reversal with that, you're going to get the crushing blow and knock them across the screen. So it's got really good uses. It really stops a lot of the stagger or backdash to make you whiff game. It's a huge option there. The pushes that he has are really, really good. Like these moves right here, like I said, this stuff really interests me. In general with Fujin, and I just think that these are probably some of the best, look at these, the best variation for me. This is the variation that I'm the most intrigued about. So obviously day one, this is the variation I'm going to be playing. I'm probably going to put Sub-Zero down and probably only play him on the side. And this will be my new main variation, as pretty much I'm considered one of the best overall defensive players in another realm scene. And this kind of stuff complements my skill set really, really, really well, to where instead of kind of like some of the stuff I do with Sub-Zero is kind of square peg, round hole, this kind of just fits perfectly. And what I like to do and how I like to play really kind of fits in this kind of variation here. Overall, I would say Fujin is definitely a character that has something for everybody. Whether you want the big combos and the freestyle creativity of being able to put your own combos together, he's got that, but again, still some air stuff, not air mobility, but jump in like air tornado, etc. He's got that. Variation 2 is definitely going to be in the air, high mobility, etc. And variation 3 is just screen control, If you hate people jumping around, it looks like variation 3 will probably counter variation 2, ironically. But it just looks like, whether you are really like into that custom kind of freestyle kind of combo feel, or very simple with very simple gameplay, they say variation 1's pretty straightforward. You can kind of just jump right in. Variation 2 looks really good with a lot of mobility moves, probably a ton of setups, a ton of baits, and just high mobility. And variation 3 is very defensive with a lot of screen control. So really right now, this looks to be like a complete character. All three variations serve a purpose. They all look really, really good. Obviously, this is all on paper right now. We need to see more. We need to kind of not see more, but get our hands on the actual character so we know actually how it works. But for right now, absolutely, I would say, variation 3, Fujin, whatever they call it, F5, I don't know. Fujin is probably going to be my new main character. So I definitely look forward to putting a ton of Fujin tech up on YouTube once this game drops. The next combat cast won't be till Monday. We're on, the day before. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream as soon as Aftermath drops on midnight on Monday. So, early Tuesday. So, and you can check me out at twitch.tv/realmktombrady. I'll probably do a YouTube video that day just to kind of remind you guys that I'll be going live for a 24-hour stream. But yeah, this is Fujin, and I think he's going to be really, really solid. And I'm really, really excited for him. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned to more content coming soon.